This is the unboxing of the PassNinja Scan Terminal. This is how the board arrives. It's a Raspberry Pi mounted on a secure element shield. On the underside, you'll see some labels that say Flowmeo Reader and Power. There's also the micro HDMI port in order to connect it to a display. It's important that this do not tamper hat doesn't be messed with. Otherwise, it'll deactivate the unit so that it doesn't work anymore. So we'll just put this together. We're going to need a 2.5 amp outlet connector for the Raspberry Pi so that it has sufficient power to run. This is pretty important. So we'll connect that. The other thing that we're going to need is the Flowmeo Reader. Now the Flowmeo Reader connects via this micro USB, and it's also included in the packaging. The antenna side is what you want to put up against whatever scan surface you're going to use. And then you can orient this however you want to fit inside of your enclosure. So we'll just connect this. And then the last thing you're going to want is the HDMI connector. Now the HDMI connector for the Raspberry Pi requires this micro adapter, which we don't ship with our packaging, so you'll need to get that. You can get that from Amazon, and that connects to any normal HDMI cable. And here I have a 7-inch display just to show you the boot sequence. So we'll connect that back up here. All right, once you have everything connected, you're going to want to turn on the unit. And you'll notice right off the bat, you'll get some blinking LEDs just above the N here, where my thumb is. And then you'll also get some blinking activity on the status LED on the Flowmeo Reader board. Now it takes about 30 blinks of this LED for the boot sequence to complete, and we can also monitor it on the display. So we'll just wait for that. While it's booting, it's actually decrypting the file system, and that's using the secure element, so it's a very secure unit, and that's why it's really important for you not to tamper with the with this connector board, because that's what is constantly monitoring that the file system and an SD card haven't been messed with or tampered with in any way. Once it boots up, it's going to actually go into scan mode. Now each unit, so there now it's completed its boot sequence. So each unit that we ship, we actually configure with your Wi-Fi information so that it connects to your local area network. Now, if you don't see that it's connecting, and that you can notice by the IP address that's shown here on the boot in the boot log, then what you can do is just use a USB hub and connect a keyboard, and then you'd be able to log in from the keyboard directly here. And the username and password we send to you via our Slack channel, so that you'll be able to have a username and password to log in, and that way configure your scanning. Once the unit has entered this sequence, we can now scan on the reader, and that's both on the iPhone and on the Android side of things. On Android, the first scan can take a moment. Sometimes that has to do with there we go, just getting the alignment right on the reader surface. So you may have to tinker with that to get it right for your setup. But that's pretty much what I wanted to show. If you have any questions, please post them on our forums or hit us up on Slack. Thanks a lot.